All right, we are live. I'm actually gonna go to the bathroom first before I do this. I am live. Yes, no one is watching right now. So we're gonna just like sit here until like we actually get a couple of people watching. 2 minutes in OT. Los Angeles Lakers are ahead. LA's ahead, so hey, first one come, first one serve. I don't actually have any food today, unfortunately. But Los Angeles Lakers are winning with 1 minute, 20 or 2 minutes left. Pretty cool. It's pretty cool. So if I can get more people in here, that would be great. Not really sure, but let's talk about this NBA thing. 2 minute OT for LeBron's first game back, so I hope they win. But yeah, so Mavs got Porzingas. They sent Smith and 2 first-round picks, and they sent some other players too. Stephen A. Smith actually didn't have a heart attack for them trading Porzingas because he actually thought it was a pretty good move for the Knicks. Yeah, SAS actually thought it was a pretty good move for the Knicks. So obviously they got Porzingas for Dennis Smith Jr. and 2 first-round picks. Wesley Matthews and DeAndre Jordan, who also went to the Knicks, but that's mainly for the expiring contracts. So I think the Knicks are going to definitely rebuild and be in the free agent market this summer. Now they could target like KD and Kyrie or something, because I'm not really sure if Kyrie is going to re-sign with the Celtics. Yeah, I could probably do that, but a couple of people already subscribed to this, so I actually thought they would actually join. But I'm actually not sure who's going to join and who isn't. Well, okay, for that last video with the pineapple stuff, for that pineapple stuff, I actually had to do pineapple, but because my roommate ordered a pineapple pizza and I had to match. Yeah, so I actually had to match because my roommate actually ordered a pineapple pizza. I wish there were more. I wish I could actually attract a couple more people here, though. That'd be cool. Yeah, hey, yeah. So basically, Porzingis, I actually believe. Obviously, I think Dallas got the better part of this deal. I'm guessing. I think Dallas got the better part of this deal because they got the best player. DeAndre Jordan is pretty good, but if I were the Knicks, I don't know if I would resign him because he would eat up a lot of my cap. I would definitely try to go for KD and Kyrie because I don't think AD is going to sign in New York anyways. Community tabs in my main. Well, if I actually switch out right now, the problem is if I actually switch out right now, I actually lose this stream, and I don't really want to do that and start another one. That's the issue. But hey, we can just talk. I mean, like, I don't mind. We can just talk about basketball here. It doesn't matter if it's just like 2 or 3 people. So what do you think about the Porzingis trade? What do you think about the Porzingis trade? I think Dallas won. I think New York won. Dallas won pretty hard there because they have Porzingis and Doncic now, which I think, yeah, that's quite a duo. That's quite a duo, and I think I think that you need another piece. I do have an extra tablet or my phone, but I think if I switch out, I don't think I can actually switch back in. I don't think I can actually keep the stream going is the problem. I've tried it. I obviously can't log on to two different accounts, even on two different tablets, because it just logs me off the other one, which is weird. So, yeah. So let's talk about the Anthony Davis, the Porzingis trade, because I've been wanting to talk about that for a while. They also got a couple of good pieces in Courtney Lee and Tim Hardaway Jr. I don't really know about Courtney Lee, but I think Tim Hardaway Jr. is actually pretty good. He actually went off for a couple of games, I remember. Obviously he's not as good as his dad, but he's actually not a bad player, you know? He's got like 19.1 points per game on 32 minutes, so he's a decent piece. He's a decent piece. He's a decent piece. I'm actually going to try that then to see if this actually works, because I can use Safari on here. Let me see. I can use Safari on here. Let me see if that actually works. I would like a couple of more people in this chat, definitely. I don't really like do much with YouTube except stream. I'm just going to use my phone on this. So I go to community. Okay, I'm logged on. I'm not actually sure how to promote this thing. I'm on community. I don't exactly know how to promote this thing. I guess community settings or chat or whatever. I'm not exactly sure how to do this. I'm actually in on the other browser. How do I promote the link of the live stream? I don't even know how to do that, honestly. Unfortunately, I don't. Well, okay, okay, I'm just gonna do look, I'm actually just going to do I'm just going to talk about this honestly, just treat it as another video. So I suppose Dallas got really good pieces. So I don't know if they can make it into the playoffs this year, because if you look at the standings in the Western Conference, I think they might be a little too far behind, but if they started the year with both Porzingis healthy and Doncic, they could definitely be a playoff team. So I actually think this is actually this is a really excellent trade for them. They do need one more piece. I don't know what piece that would be. New York's obviously trying to tank for Zion, obviously, or RJ Barrett, one of those two. If I were New York, I would definitely pick Zion Williamson over RJ Barrett. Ooh, the Lakers got a 5-point lead now. I think they got this game. I think the Lakers have actually got this game. So that's cool. Let's see. I want to see the box score, because Ingram was doing really well this game. 19 points. LeBron caught back on fire. He's almost got a triple-double. But Ingram and Kuzma's doing okay. He doesn't have that many minutes. I wonder if he's hurt or something. Rondo got a lot of minutes. Lonzo is still out, I think. So Lance Stephenson did really good this game. I'm surprised by that, because he's been playing like trash lately. Yeah, so Lakers have definitely Lakers are definitely better with LeBron than without LeBron. Like, LeBron's not holding them back. He is holding them back, but only holding them back from getting like first round draft picks or high first round draft picks. So he's cool. He's cool. LeBron is doing this team right, and they'll be in the playoffs. I hope they can actually get Anthony Davis because I don't think he wants to sign anywhere else except for LA. So I personally think if LeBron, if the Lakers offer Kyle Kuzma, Lonzo Ball, Brandon Ingram, and Zubac, plus like their first round draft pick, I think that's a pretty decent package for Anthony Davis. And I'm not really sure if anyone can do better than that. I know Boston can this summer, but Boston, if they don't keep Jason Tatum and Kyrie Irving goes elsewhere, which I think there's a good possibility that Kyrie may not actually re-sign with the Celtics, I don't think that's a championship contender. I think LA is actually much closer if they just have Anthony Davis and LeBron. And maybe if they get rid of everyone else, they can go after another guy too. But there was a lot of interesting discussion. There was actually a lot of interesting discussion today across the sports networks that the players have too much power in the NBA, and I almost sort of agreed with one of them. I think it was either Skip Bayless or maybe it was Charles Barkley. I don't remember that. Like that the contracts just aren't being honored. Like I definitely agree with like in free agency you can do whatever the hell you want. So I don't really have much problem with LeBron or KD going to the teams they did. Although I didn't like KD's move because come on man, you just joined a 73-win team. But I do agree with LeBron and KD going wherever the hell they want during free agency because that makes total sense. I don't actually like players demanding a trade like maybe like 2 years before their contract is up because that really handicaps the team, especially if you say like you're only willing to go to like a certain place. All right, thanks, man. Thanks. Especially if you're only willing to go to a certain place. Because that really handicaps your team. Like AD saying that he'll only sign in LA takes a lot of the players out, a lot of the actual markets off. And Boston thinks they can convince him, but I bet a lot of the other markets aren't going to offer as much for Anthony Davis now because Anthony Davis basically said he won't sign with them anywhere except for Los Angeles. And that is a pretty big problem for a lot of the other guys, a lot of the other teams, because they don't want to give away their entire core for like an all-star that they only get for 1 year, because you need more than 1 year to actually build around that all-star. I think LA's rebuilding project is, if they sign Anthony Davis and they have to give away all four of those young guys, I think their project's going to last more than next year, because you have Anthony Davis and you have LeBron. And that's an awesome core, but LeBron is getting older, and I'm actually not sure. I'm actually not sure if AD will actually. Well, AD wants to be in LA, but I'm not actually sure if that's enough to really compete. Yes, those are two awesome superstars, but you still need shooters around them. They might be able to attract people because it's LA and people would want to play with LeBron and AD, because that would open up a lot of 3-point shots. Honestly, can you imagine like how many people would be having to double AD down in the post, and how many people would actually be covering LeBron out on the perimeter? That would be like amazing. And you'd have all these like 3-point shooters, and you would need like really good 3-point shooters. Like, I don't know if JJ Redick's too old or not, but he used to be pretty good. Who else? Who else is a good 3-and-D guy? Because that's basically what you need around LeBron and AD. Who else is a good 3-and-D guy right now? Maybe like Trevor Ariza and a couple of those other guys. I feel like if they can put a team with a bunch of those guys together, they would definitely be like able to compete with anyone in the league. So that's my opinion. That's definitely my opinion with this right now. If they can if they put those guys together, they can compete with anyone, and that's actually what I want them to do regarding their team build. Yeah, Steph Curry, sure, but Golden State's not going to trade Steph Curry, though. That's the issue. GSW is not going to trade Stephen Curry because that's their core. They'd much rather trade like Kevin Durant than Steph Curry because that's like, yes, Durant's the best player on the team, but Steph Curry is honestly like the face of their franchise. I don't think they're ever going to trade him, and he's still pretty good. And plus, like, there's nothing that Cleveland could offer, or not Cleveland. There's actually nothing that LA could offer that would pry Curry away from them, in my opinion. I mean, like, if I were Golden State, I would never trade Steph Curry because Steph Curry is awesome, and just trading him just would not be a good idea, in my opinion. Oh, by the way, what's your favorite food to eat when you're watching an NBA game? I still like to snack on sunflower seeds. Yeah, Klay Thompson is actually an option for the Lakers. If they can snag Klay Thompson, that would be awesome because I think LeBron, AD, and Klay, if they can max out Klay, that would be easily enough to actually compete or even beat Golden State. And plus, you're taking Thompson away from Golden State. I don't think I eat pizza with watching sports games in NBA. I actually eat pizza rolls or pizza bagel bites. Pizza bagel bites are amazingly good. People don't understand how good pizza bagel bites are, but they are freaking amazing. Let me tell you something. They are freaking amazing. I love those things. They're insanely good. Insanely good. Like, I'm actually kind of sad. I think I'm going to miss the Super Bowl this weekend because I'm going to be in China and no one watches the Super Bowl in China. I don't really care about either of the teams, but it's always a fun event for us to do every year, Super Bowl Sunday. It's like me and a bunch of the church guys and girls, like we get around, we basically just eat. We basically just eat and we do like other fun stuff. So I personally think, yeah, definitely like pizza rolls and like bacon bites are really good. You know those like if you have clam wrapped in bacon, it's delicious. It's freaking delicious. Some of the best I've ever eaten in terms of snacks. It's expensive though because you have to wrap clam in bacon. I mean, yes, I can, but it'd be like extremely slow trying to stream in from China, unfortunately. It's not worth it for me. Trust me, it's a real headache to do it from there. It's a real headache to do anything from there, honestly. I'm going to be trying to use VPN to post videos, but that's about it. I probably won't be able to do the live stream like I usually do, but I'll be back in like 10, 11 days, so it's not a big deal. That's awesome. Like, the NFL is just definitely like growing their brand like crazy, man. But the thing is, I think football is going to hit like a pretty hard time, honestly, because of the whole like head injuries thing and trauma thing. I don't think like a lot of parents will want their kids to actually play football because there's just so much issue for like brain trauma afterwards. Like basketball, yes, you can get injured, but you're not like running into each other every single game, basically. You're not actually running into each other every single game in basketball. So that's completely different. Like football is just basically on a whole new level of like destroying your body, unfortunately. It's really fun to watch. I usually don't like play-by-play games, but football is really fun to watch. Unless like the game's just all the way one-sided, then it's like really boring to watch. But that's true for any sport. UFC is kind of fun, but half the time they're just like on the ground like trying to like submit each other, which is kind of boring. I like it when two like strike fighters actually fight. That's actually kind of interesting. So I actually do think that's really cool. But yeah, if Thompson went, I don't think I'm gonna get anyone right now. So I'll try. I'll try to do this. Hang on. Let me actually. I don't know if I have another browser on here. I might only have Chrome on this. Community tab on YouTube. Okay. So I have the community tab. What does it say under the community tab where I can... All I see is comments under the community tab. Do I just post a comment on my latest live stream on there? No, no, I'm actually on it on my phone. I'm actually on it on my phone. I have Edge, but I'm actually not logged in on Edge. Let me try this. Let me actually try this. So I'm on Edge, YouTube. YouTube.com. Actually, you know, like my link on here. Isn't quite. It's not going to be YouTube-u, but whatever. Sign in to do this. What the hell is my password again? I think that was it. That might be wrong. Looks good. Let's go to this. All right. Whatever. I already have it on that. So, food battles. Oh, dang. Come on, man. I hate the way this thing works right now. It's not. I gotta find my own channel on the other thing. Let me see. Chicken Run review. I know I can actually do this because I actually did a video on Chicken Run. Or not. Okay, KFC versus Popeyes. I don't remember. I gotta find one of my videos so I can find my channel. Screw it. We're just gonna do. Well, no, I can't actually do that. Here we go. Food Battles channel. I gotta find my live stream. Here we go. I found my own live stream. Okay, so here we go. Copy. All right, I'll post a comment.
I gotta find my live stream.
Oh, that's weird. Shoot, this is taking a while. I wish I was like at home. I honestly wish I was back in Wisconsin because this wouldn't take nearly as long. My channel. Here we go. Really weird. Community. And where's my videos? There we go. There we go. There we go. All right, I posted one. Awesome. Awesome. All right, I posted one. I posted one. I don't think I'm gonna get really anyone in here, honestly, unfortunately. But maybe we'll try again next time. The Lakers win, yes. The Lakers won. The Lakers won. Awesome. I know, like some people will get mad because I'm only a LeBron fan. I'm not really a Lakers fan, but I've been following LeBron like his entire career. So yeah, so I want to talk about the Anthony Davis trade, or the possible trades for Anthony Davis. I think most commentators say that he won't actually be traded this trade deadline, and they're just going to wait for Boston to make a better offer in the summer. I don't think that's actually the case because then I don't think they would have removed him from the hype video pre-game hype video, and I don't think they would have. They're talking about deactivating him for the rest of the year. And if you were actually going to trade him in the summer, there's no reason you would actually do that, because that doesn't actually make sense. You would want him to play so people could actually see him, and plus he's a huge asset for your team for the rest of the season. Anthony Davis will fill up seats, man, because none of your other players really have that market appeal. All right, I'm going to roll again, actually. I'm going to roll again. 8-7, 8-2, unfortunately. Nothing. Uh, Yeah, I think we're going to be stuck at 2 here, unfortunately, for this particular stream. I'm going to try this again sometime. I actually really like live streaming, but we do need to get more people. I'm actually trying to get more people in my photography channel as well, because that's actually like my primary hobby, as well as kind of the way I make money. So yeah. I don't have that many Twitter followers right now, and I'm actually pretty like category specific on Twitter. So right now I'm actually not going to do that. I'll post some more videos here sooner or later. Well, I'll try again later. But I actually don't think, I think Anthony Davis has a really good chance of actually being traded before the deadline right now, because it really seems like the Hornets or the Pelicans are open to moving him, honestly. Because of the actions they actually did today, they might be just trying to get back at him, but that's kind of petty, honestly. So yeah, so I could see a deal happening in the next week where they take like 4 guys for Davis. That would be interesting, because if they have 4 guys for Davis, they would really need to fill up their roster really quickly with like basically they would still have like JaVale McGee and Rajon Rondo, so they would need to fill out their roster with a couple of other guys. I really don't want them to trade like Kyle Kuzma, but they're going to have to get Davis. Yeah. All right, not too many people are joining here, so I'm going to shut down the stream. I'm going to try this again later on this, but I actually do really want to talk about like basketball and food. I'm pretty sure like they want Porzingis to be Dirk, and I'm not really sure who they want Luka to be. Hey man, oh no problem. All right, we got another person here. We got 3 now. Yeah, I'm trying to get more people here. Because I actually watch a lot of sports each day. I watch a lot of ESPN each day. So I actually really like, I really like basketball. I also do watch some football, but not nearly as much as basketball. The NBA is the only real league that I follow a lot. I also watch a lot of League of Legends, but that's like a kind of more of a niche subject. That's definitely more like the League of Legends is definitely much more of a niche subject for me. And I don't think like there's as many people who are interested in that on my stream as like the NBA or the NFL, honestly. But like how do you guys think they would actually build the Lakers if like starting next year? Because like I feel like they don't have enough time to build the Lakers this year, even if they have like Anthony Davis by the trade deadline today. I feel like they don't have enough to build They don't have enough to build a team around those two. Enough time to build a team around those two, even if they get Anthony Davis by the trade deadline, because they're gonna have to give up. Like for AD, they would have to give up Lonzo Ball, Kyle Kuzma, Brandon Ingram. I think they're gonna have to give up Zubac as well, as well as their first round pick. So they have to give up 4 players and a pick. And KCP has to go just to make the salaries work out, I believe. So they have to import 5 guys really quickly, and you're pretty much going to get D-League guys at that point to play with Anthony Davis and LeBron James. So I don't think they're really competitive. I mean, they'll make the playoffs for sure, but I don't think they're really competitive like that. But they should definitely pull this deal for AD during the trade deadline if they can. They should definitely pull the deal for AD on this trade deadline if they can, though, because you want to get that player because there's a lot of teams aiming for AD, and they only have this 1 week window where they're basically the only player in the field for AD, because Boston can make a killer offer, and then you have to wait another year for AD to actually come over. But I mean, you're gonna have to make some great signings. I mean, you're going to have to make some really, really good signings, man. Oh, by the way, did you guys hear that Jimmer I mean, like, no one can actually win an NBA championship by himself, you know? Like, Jordan had a really good team around him. Like, the entire 6 years he won the championship. He had Pippen, which is another 50 top greatest players of all time. Then he had, like, Rodman, which is, like, definitely a Hall of Famer. And then, you know, he had a bunch of guys like, you know, Steve Kerr and John Paxson hit the final shots in those other games. So Jordan was fortunate enough where, like, none of his guys were really seriously injured during his championship runs. It's not like LeBron in his first year on his return to Cleveland where, like, Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love both couldn't play in the finals. Whereas basically, like, LeBron and Matthew Dellavedova versus the Warriors. I don't understand. And the amazing thing about LeBron plus Matthew Dellavedova was they actually managed to win 2 games against the Warriors. I think that was quite an accomplishment. I actually think they could have won. I actually think they could have won that series if Dellavedova just didn't run out of gas. All right, someone else is on the stream. That's awesome. So the pineapples thing, I kind of had to explain that. So the pineapples comparison is, I didn't want to buy 2 pizzas because 2 pizzas cost like more than 1 pizza, and my roommate actually bought a pineapple mushroom pizza from Pizza Hut. Well, no, from Domino's, and I was like, all right, I'll just get a pizza from Pizza Hut, and we'll combine the 2. So I had to match with pineapple and mushroom. Oh yeah, that sucks if YouTube's deleting their comment. But I will have to say, I like Pizza Hut pizza better than Domino's pizza. I think their crust is of higher quality. Although I don't think Pizza Hut's really that high quality either. And honestly, Domino's pineapples are definitely fresher than Pizza Hut pineapples on their pizza. That is one thing I can definitely confirm. Yeah, YouTube's being a bitch, but whatever. That's hard to break. Well, you know, the Miami Heat team almost broke that, though, is the thing. Miami Heat actually, I did go outside in the cold weather. I have not tried Blaze Pizza. I'm not sure if we have it in Wisconsin. Let me check. I know we have this really awesome place near Milwaukee in Brookfield that I really want to check out. I know we have Blaze Pizza in St. Louis. Yeah, they have a couple in Milwaukee. They actually have they have a couple of locations in Milwaukee and one over here, which is where I would actually go in Brookfield. But they don't have any in Madison, unfortunately. I did go outside in the cold weather. That I did do. It was really freaking cold. Let me tell you something. It was cold. I actually did a video in the cold weather. I might actually try that. I actually don't really like pizza that much. I actually much rather have chicken or steak. That's why I do so many chicken comparison videos, because I actually like chicken a lot. But I do want to go to Pizza Ranch, though. There is a Pizza Ranch near where I live in Wisconsin, and I've been to Pizza Ranch once. Like, the pizza there didn't actually impress me, but the chicken and mashed potatoes really did. What's my favorite NBA team from the 1980s? Man, I was born in '84, so that's really hard. I would probably have to say like probably the Celtics, the Larry Bird, Kevin McHale Celtics, man. They were tough. Like, okay, I will admit the Lakers were a better team in the 80s, but the Celtics are my favorite. From the 90s, probably the Bulls because everyone loved the Bulls. All of the Supersonics were pretty cool too. That one year they made it to the finals. From the 2000s, I mean, basically from '03 onwards, it was basically whichever team LeBron's on. I mean, I like the Lakers as well. I'm not from Boston or LA, so I don't really have a loyalty to any of those, but I like Larry Bird a lot as a player. Dude was killer, man. Dude was an assassin. The dude, like Larry Bird was like such a killer that I had to like the Celtics. I mean, I really love that. I like that finals game, though. I like that finals game where Magic Johnson filled in for Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and scored 42 points. Most amazing thing ever. Definitely most amazing game ever. I remember Spud Webb. I don't remember Wilkins as much. He was a little like I don't think I watched that much when Wilkins played. I remember like the 90s, everyone was just all about the Bulls. My sister was such a huge fan of the Bulls. Yeah, my sister was like a huge fan of the my sister was actually a huge fan of the Chicago Bulls. Like she was like, you know, she was so much into like Michael Jordan and like that team. I like Jordan as well. Yeah, Kevin McHale. He was baller as well. You know, did you guys watch the Lakers Kings series in '02? You know that series that was stolen from the Kings? That was just really sad play calling. Same thing with Lakers and Blazers, man. The refs basically won the Lakers 2 titles in that period. That foul calling was just god awful. I mean, you could be a Lakers fan, but you can't deny that. Robert Ory's like Mr. Clutch, dude. He was so clutch. Like him on both Houston and San Antonio. Oh, I remember those days, man. You know, I used to be a big Rockets fan. Like with Yao Ming and Tracy McGrady, they never went anywhere, but they were a fun team to watch. Yes, that was the series where I do believe I think it was Lakers Spurs that Ori shot the three to win. You know, the funny thing is Ori actually has more rings than Jordan. Yeah, I remember Jason Williams and C. Weber. Dang, dude. Weber was a beast before he got washed up. Too bad, like, it's sad that Allen Iverson only got to play with a washed up version of Chris Webber. Because I think if Iverson had prime Chris Webber, they could have really done some things. You know, I don't know if I agree if Super NBA teams are hurting the league in the long run, though. I don't know if I agree with that at all. Because the NBA's popularity has never been higher. And if you really look at the periods of time where the league's popularity was super high, it was when they had the super teams. Remember like a Boston versus LA. Boston versus LA, man, like in the 80s, that was when like the thing was like super high. When popularity was like super uber high and they had like two huge rival super teams and no one really mattered. Cuz I think the Lakers and the Celtics combined to win like 8 out of the 10 championships in the 80s. I remember that. Yeah, Rick Fox and Doug Christie. That was great. What about Shaq and Barkley when they got into that scuffle? You guys remember they play that clip on NBA Overtime all the time. Do you remember when Shaq and Barkley got into that scuffle? That was hilarious. And then like, you know, and after Bird and Magic, it was like Jordan. And then after Jordan, the NBA kind of like died after a while. Until you got like LeBron and those guys. Or actually after Jordan, like until Kobe rose back up, That's when the NBA got more popular again. Like, honestly, I think like the NBA is most popular when it has super teams. Yeah, as much as people don't like David Stern, like, he did really amazing things for the NBA. Dennis Rodman like got into fights with everyone, man. That dude was a beast. Like, dude, the game was so much more physical back then, though. You could like hand check, but then they didn't really have zone defense back then. So I don't know if defense is better now or back then, because zone actually, like for star players, zone definitely makes things a lot harder. But then you can't hand check, so it makes things easier. So it kind of goes back and forth. Like, I don't know if I completely agree that defense just sucks today compared to back then, but they do definitely score more points today. Oh, dude, that's old school. Isaiah Thomas, James Worthy, Ralph Sampson. Whatever happened to that guy? He was so good when he got drafted. Him and Hakeem were like the Twin Towers. I don't really know what happened to that guy. He like just kind of fell off a cliff. He totally fell off a cliff, man. Unfortunately, like he could have been great. Isaiah Thomas, man, that's he was like the best like little point guard. You know, honestly, like I don't know if I would rather have Isaiah Thomas or John Stockton, because like yeah, Isaiah Thomas, like he did win the championships with the Bad Boys, but John Stockton like remained good for so long. Steve Harvey's family, dude. Steve Harvey's such a great host, man. That show's hilarious. That show's so hilarious. Yeah, I do. Charles Oakley, Allen Houston, Patrick Ewing, Mark Jackson, and Chris. But don't forget John Starks, man. John Starks is part of that too. No, this isn't my NBA channel, but I'm gonna use it as this right now. It's my food chat. This is my food channel. This is my food channel. I actually do. I do actually post videos of like food reviews here. I did actually. I did do a link to this stream. But you know, it was actually really sad that like Starks missed that one shot that could have won them the NBA title that one year against the Rockets, and then he like his career kind of tapered off after that, unfortunately. George Marason, Samson. Wait, wasn't Ralph Sampson like 7'3"? I thought he was 7'3". I know Sean Bradley was 7'6". Yao Ming was 7'5" or 7'6". Yeah, man, Chicago like dominated all those years. Although the thing is, like, if you really think about Jordan's titles, he didn't play against like any super teams in their prime. Because like when he played the Lakers in '91, like a Jabbar was already retired that year, and then he played like the Blazers in '92, but that wasn't a super team either. The Suns in '93 were a legit team, but they weren't a super team. They had like Charles Barkley and Kevin Johnson, which were a legit team, but they're not like a super ultra stacked team. And then like the two against the Jazz, it was Stockton and Malone, which was formidable, but not a super team either. And Sean Kemp and Gary Payton were really fun to watch, but they weren't an uber team either. Yeah, I'm actually sad that they had actually had to change the Bullets to the Wizards because someone had a gripe about calling a team the Bullets. Like, yeah, that wasn't Clyde Drexler was on the Blazers, but that was only like Clyde Drexler. That was like Drexler's team. That was only Clyde Drexler's team though. Well, a lot of teams didn't win the title due to the Bulls, but like Jordan really never had to play a team with like where the starting lineup was like all stars basically. Like if you think about the Warriors right now, they basically have an all-star lineup to start. They have like Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, and Boogie Cousins. That's like 5 all-stars right there in your starting lineup. That shit is like ridiculous right now. You're older than me, man. Like I don't remember Elvin Hayes and Wes Unseld. Like I seriously started watching like around the time like Jordan got really good back in like 90 or maybe slightly after that. I definitely was watching by the time that in during Michael's first hiatus when Houston destroyed Orlando. I don't know if the NBA will really expand overseas because just the travel times would be really tricky. You know, people like the players would definitely have jet lag going back and forth. So I'm not really sure if it can expand overseas. Like the NFL, I don't think will expand overseas because I don't think football has appeal anywhere except for the United States. Like most countries don't want their kids basically like ramming into each other's heads. It's actually pretty smart that they don't want their kids ramming into each other's heads. Honestly, I think football only has appeal in the United States. Basketball has appeal everywhere. But instead of the NBA expanding overseas, like the foreign teams actually just have to get good, basically. I can see that, but you know, like Wilt Chamberlain played. I think, but you have to remember, Wilt Chamberlain played in an era where he's like the only guy over 7 feet tall, in the entire NBA. He was basically like playing against like 6'5" centers, you know. So he was dominating all of them. So I'm actually not that impressed that Wilt Chamberlain. I mean, I'm definitely impressed by his 100-point game and his 50-20 season. But I'm not surprised he was able to get so much stats because when you're playing against like people like half a foot shorter than you are, you're going to get some amazing stats. But Wilt Chamberlain, I have full confidence would still dominate in today's game. I'm fully confident that Wilt Chamberlain would still dominate today's game, honestly, because that guy was just such a physical freak of nature. I heard that Wilt Chamberlain had like a 40-inch vertical, and that's not a joke. This is not one of those Steph Curry with 40-inch vertical jokes. Like I heard like Wilt Chamberlain legit had a 40-inch vertical. And the dude could bench like 450 pounds or something like that. Dude, Mutombo was a beast, man. Remember his? Do you guys remember Mutombo's finger wag? No, 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 no. That was hilarious. Okay, okay, you got me there. So there were a couple of big men that were around his height, but like most of the NBA was smaller back then. Dang, yeah. Will was a beast though. Will was definitely a beast back in the day. But he would like Will Chamberlain, like he's a guy that would actually transfer like to his skills would totally transfer to now. Like I'm talking like guys like George Mikan, they were really good for their day, but I don't think they would actually do that well in today's NBA. Hey man, hey Vincent Wilson. Hey Vincent Wilson, man, how you doing? We're talking about like old school NBA. We're talking about old school NBA right now. Like Wilt Chamberlain, like even George Mikan. Yeah, like I think I really the problem with like an Asian quarterback in the NFL is like not like Asian parents don't let their kids play football. And that's probably a smart thing. Like honestly, if I had a kid, I wouldn't want him to play football because I don't want him to get brain injuries later. Like I like to watch the NFL, but honestly, I don't want my kids playing NFL. I am getting ready for China. I am getting ready for China. Yeah. I'm gonna have a good like week and a half there. Nice vacation. Definitely a very nice vacation. Yeah, I do think Bill Russell would. I mean, Bill Russell was also a defensive beast. Although I don't think Bill Russell would actually play center in today's NBA. I think he would play like power forward in today's NBA. Hey, did any of you guys watch? Did Well, yeah, but baseball's already popular overseas. Like Japan and Korea are crazy about baseball, so that's not a surprise at all. Baseball's crazy overseas. Did any of you guys actually watch Pete Maravich? That dude was crazy. I watched some of the footage. That dude's like crazy. I mean, like, he wasn't a winner, but he was crazy. Yeah, Bill Russell would definitely be a power forward right now. But like, did you guys ever watch Pete Maravich live? That dude was like insane. Like, he did stuff for like no reason at all. Like, he made like spectacular passes when like just a regular touch pass would have worked. Like, his teams never won, and I'm not surprised because Pete Maravich was all about Pete Maravich. He wasn't about like yeah, I know he was amazing, but you know his college team didn't actually win though. Like, Pete Maravich is not honestly Pete Maravich is not a team-centric player, so he doesn't make his team actually better, but he's awesome. He's amazing to watch. I find WWE hilarious to watch. WWE isn't as good as it used to be, though. Like, the height of WWE awesomeness was like The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin. No, I agree with you. Pete Maravich was amazing personally as a player, but he was not a team player. He did not make the team better. He basically scored as many points as he can. He's like Pete Maravich is honestly kind of like Russell Westbrook on steroids. So, and that's hard to do because he would score like 60 points and the rest of his team would score like 10 points. I do remember that. Actually, now since you mentioned that, I do remember that stunt where Karl Malone teamed up with DDP to face Hulk Hogan and Dennis Rodman. That was freaking hilarious. I remember them analyzing Rodman's wrestling. He's not very good at anything else besides jumping over people. No, I did not watch. I didn't start watching like American stuff until I came here. I mean, TV in China is like honestly, it's not that interesting if you don't like drama right now. But even back then, there wasn't that much good stuff. Did he? I don't remember. I don't remember if Maravich actually won an NBA championship. Now, WCW wasn't as entertaining as WWF. It was never as entertaining as WWF. I don't exactly remember what was with WCW. Didn't they have that Didn't they have that Hulk Hogan versus Kevin Nash feud in WCW? I do remember like in the ring where like Hulk Hogan just basically like this one thing where they did a show where him and Kevin Nash were in the ring and they were definitely setting like Goldberg up or something when Hulk Hogan just kind of like touched Kevin Nash with his finger and like Kevin Nash just like fell over it and like fell down. That was honestly like the funniest thing I've ever seen. And then like Goldberg just went insane. He's like, oh, that's so set up. That's so fake. I'm just like, yeah, of course it's fake. All of wrestling's fake. Like Goldberg just like went insane. No, I don't think that was the worst moment in WCW history. I think that was the funniest moment in WCW history. And then there was I remember they had like this henchman. He was called like the 1-2-3 Kid or something. And he had to fight like the 1-2-3 Kid fought against like Rey Mysterio Jr. or something. That was a really entertaining match as well. I think there's a lot of people at war with the Church of Scientology. I do remember X-Pac. Like my era with WWF and WCW was like Kevin Nash, Hulk Hogan, The Undertaker was still there, and on the other side there was Stone Cold Steve Austin, DDP, and The Rock. Like The Rock, okay, I have to say The Rock is my favorite wrestler of all time. Yeah, I do remember China. Dude, China had like such fake boobs like such huge fake boobs, dude. I don't, I'm not surprised that Hogan had to have surgery because, like, when you do that stuff for so long, that it has to wear on your body. Like, yes, wrestling might be fake, but that doesn't mean it's not tiring and physically demanding. I think that was like the golden era of wrestling. I'm not quite old enough to remember like Ric Flair in his glory days, but he was definitely a showman as well. Yeah, I mean, that's because a lot of those wrestlers basically like did a lot of drugs and they eventually died. Except for Bret Hart, I think he died trying to do some kind of stunt. I don't know if I remember Rick Rude. I remember Ric Flair, but I don't remember Rick Rude. Like the Nature Boy, I remember, but I don't know if I didn't catch like Ric Flair in his glory days, but I do remember him. Oh, was it Owen that died? Okay, yeah, I remember like he fell from the rafters or something like that, right? Because like his like support got snapped or something like that. Hey, who is you guys' favorite wrestler? Who is you guys' favorite wrestler? Mine's still The Rock. Like that is like my favorite. I think he's gonna be my favorite wrestler of all time. Like John Cena is nowhere near as good as The Rock. I mean, he's pretty good for now, but he's not like The Rock. The Rock versus Mankind was like that was all time great. It's like goat. Like that was like goat level wrestling. Sid Vicious. Chris Benoit. I don't know about AEW, unfortunately. But Sabu, Sting, Lex Luke. That's old school, man. That's like a little bit before me, honestly. It's a little bit before me. But hey, did you guys? You know what my favorite wrestling match was? You guys, you know what my favorite wrestling match was? It was actually that one match between The Rock and Mankind, where like eventually Mankind won because he like pinned The Rock under some kind of like machine or something, under like one of those like tractor machine things. Yeah, Hulk Hogan did change wrestling forever, man. A lot of people like built off his work, but like I think my favorite wrestler still has to be The Rock. The Rock. I remember his appearance on Jay Leno as well. I remember when The Rock or like Dwayne Johnson, he came on Jay Leno and basically like he was like, "Do you smell what The Rock is cooking?" And Jay Leno was like, "Oh, I do smell what The Rock is cooking. Is it brownies?" I think it was like either muffins or brownies. And like he actually bought out like a bunch of brownies that he cooked. Dude, Ric Flair was a great showman. I remember catching the end of his career, I believe. Well, I mean, the thing is, like, I do think, like, a lot of I mean, the best wrestlers are the best entertainers because it's, like, wrestling's not really a sport, it's sports entertainment. I mean, it's all scripted. Wrestling's definitely all scripted, so it's sports entertainment. It's not actually a sport because they're not competing for anything. Dude, they should have had, like, a celebrity wrestling match between Chuck Norris and Mr. T sometime. Like, back when, like, Chuck Norris wasn't, like, 70 years old. That would have been a great match. Or like do a fake fight right now between like Chuck Norris and Mr. T. But like Chuck Norris and his like roundhouse kick and Mr. T and his gold chains. Yeah, dude, like those legendary things, I don't think people ever really forget. Like the legendary matches, I don't think people ever forget, man. Andre the Giant, dude. That's old school too. That's definitely old school. Man, like that stuff is like really old school, man. But I loved it. I loved it. When did WWF or WWE or whatever become really popular? I actually don't remember. I actually don't remember. Oh, you guys guys Bruce Lee. No, but do you guys remember that one show where Vince McMahon? It was like Vince McMahon, and then like first of all, Stone Cold Steve Austin like came and beat his ass, and then DDP came and beat his ass, and then like Kane came up and beat his ass. That was like the best ever. That was awesome. That was definitely awesome. Like that was like Vince McMahon, as much as like he was a jerk in real life, dude, he was such a good promoter for the WWE. He did like crazy shit. Like he honestly did crazy shit. That was insane. Vince McMahon gets beat up by 3 people. Vince McMahon fires Donald Trump. That's hilarious. No, no, I mean, hang on. Vince McMahon gets beat by Stone Cold. Oh yeah, this one was like the best one, man. This is the best one by far. I think this is the best one. Not this ad. This ad sucks. But I have to wait for this. Check this out. Check this out.
I'm twisted, I'm demented, that means a lot coming from a guy who, when he
Dude, check this out. This is great, man.
his own daughter. Wait a minute, now get twisted. And the
I don't really care about this.
stairs to be made. I blame that you're concerned about my well-being.
This is the best. This is the best crap ever, man.
In turn, you can appreciate the fact I'm concerned about your well-being.
Look at that. Oh, snap. Oh, snap. Best crap ever, dude. Best crap ever. Yeah, I actually shouldn't do this. I probably shouldn't do that. But like after that, he gets this the rock bottom in the last ride. Yeah, I don't actually know. Wait, this isn't actually like an official channel, a WWF channel, is it? I think it is actually, unfortunately. So I can't actually post this stuff. Yeah, dude, that was one of my favorite parts of that entire of the entire wrestling thing. Dude, I mean, Mankind versus The Rock was like one of the best rivalries. It was one of the funniest rivalries as well. As long as you credit them and it's publicly displayed. Oh, I do. Yes, I do remember Hell in a Cell. I think like this was the other this was another Hell in a Cell promotion. Yeah, yeah, all definitely WWF. Like all the fights are scripted. Like they practice doing this stuff. There is like if it wasn't fake, there's no way someone would actually survive being smashed through like 5 tables, man. It's all scripted and fake, but it's entertaining as hell, man. I mean, like if it wasn't fake, like there's no way like people would actually survive all that stuff. It's all to put on a show, but it's so funny and it's entertaining. It's really fun and entertaining to watch. Like that move right there, this move right here, where he just like stunned McMahon, that would have killed most people if it was actually real. Yeah, I mean, like John Cena, honestly, like he's just not as good as the old guys, and like they don't go off script anymore. They don't provide the entertainment that these guys used to provide me. I mean, the tables are definitely fake. I mean, they smash a lot easier than regular tables, obviously. But dude, that stuff was so good. That stuff was so good. John Cena versus Brock Lesnar. Did you see the Scooby Doo thing with John Cena? That was hilarious as well. Oh man, those were the days, man. Just like staying up late watching WWF. That was awesome. Yeah, dude, those were like legend. That was like legendary stuff. So, what do you guys think are the odds of the win? What do you guys think of the odds of the Warriors winning the title this year? What do you think the odds of the Warriors winning the title this year? I don't think it's hard to compete against the WWE because they have such brand name. I mean, realistically, like they should have a script, but the people need to be really willing to go off script um, to carry the show. Like seriously, to carry the show, people really need to be willing to go off script because if you just go by the script, it's not as entertaining. Like you need to actually make it look real. You like really need to make it look real to actually entertain people. Otherwise, it's kind of boring. Yeah, that's what I don't like about the WWE now. It is PG, and that makes it much less fun to watch. Was Are you talking about Yukazuno, like the sumo wrestler guy? Dude, that guy would be impossible to fight in real life. There was also a guy called Earthquake, which is like super fat as well. I don't remember all of the names because it's been such a long time since I actually watched that like day to day. I don't remember what that guy's name was. No, I haven't watched wrestling. I haven't actually watched wrestling in a long time. I don't really do. I don't really have a TV, so I don't really watch pay-per-view. I think I've switched to watching stuff on the internet. Bro, check this fish out. Check this fish out. That's my dream. One of my dreams in my life is to catch this fish, like catch a live one of these fish. Someday in Africa. Scary shit, dude. I want to catch one of those fish. Viscera. I don't remember him actually. I remember a bunch of like really big dudes, but I don't remember Viscera. All right, guys, it's getting really late, so I'm gonna sign out for today. I'll be back tomorrow, obviously, probably on the other channel. I'll see you guys later.